Well, it's cold, wet and horrible out there. But it's nice and warm and cosy in here. Right, welcome to another Parkinson's Walks family video. Yeah. I'm falling. I always have a job getting started. I need to pull the choke out, I think. Perhaps some of you younger generation wouldn't understand that reference. But there you go. Now, if you've turned on just to see the film, Swindon Steam, you saw the thumbnail, thought that's a good one, then go forward about 15 minutes and you'll find it there waiting for you. Or you can stay with us and join in the comments. See what lovely comments we got come through this week. Right, now I'm on new pills, so I hope I'm not too much. I will be a bit, but hopefully not too much. Right, okay, let's get started and kick this into touch. James, all the way from Canada, Toronto. Good old James. We got our first snow overnight. Blimey, is it that time of year already? I didn't realise Toronto was that far north, to be honest, but there you go. You can keep it over there, James, we don't want it. He says, the dog finds it diverting. What? The dog? You talking about our mascot here? Our official virtual mascot, our sumac. Dearie me. He said the dog finds it diverting, but I think it's a real, well, perhaps best left unsaid. Oh. Get that joke out. A Wonderful Walk in the Cotswolds. Yes, this was the Slaughter's film, wasn't it? Upper and Lower Slaughter. And there were some queries about how it got that name and a few suggestions. And apparently it comes from an Old English word meaning muddy. Not too exciting, huh? Oh well. Lionel and Mary Troubles. I hope this finds you and not someone else. Yeah, we had a message that Lionel sent to somebody else came through on the Parkinson's Walks last week. Good on, it happened to us, the best of us, Lionel. The Slaughters, he says, Mary took me there some years ago and I've always remembered that lovely water wheel, yeah, next to the cafe with a sign outside saying, please wipe your muddy boots before entering. Trev. Oh dear, poor Trev. Oh, here we go, Trev. Thank you for the Friday video, he said. The beautiful Slaughters. I've done many a walk starting from Borton and through the Slaughters and to Norton and Guyting Park, all around that area, really some lovely walks. And Trev fills you in on a few of the blanks if you go and look at his comment, which you should do. He says, it also remains of the old Banbury and Cheltenham Railway. Don't forget, a day without seeing a disused railway is a day wasted. He's not, oh dear, here we go. Not a happy bunny this morning. What is that then, Trev? I went out to meet friends for a meal and a deer ran out into the road right in front of me. I had absolutely no chance of avoiding it and it impacted the front near side of the car, causing a lot of damage. Oh dear. Did the insurance claim this morning and they were back to me in under a minute to say that a repairer would call me within the next 24 hours to get it booked in for repair. Well, there you are. You can't say all bad things about insurance companies. Yeah, well, at least you were okay, Trev. You got out of it without any bumps and scrapes, which it can be the result of hitting deer. They're large animals. So you're back up and running then. Well done. Dave, Cornwall Dave. After you read out a comment about the Cornish engine at Swansea Museum, this refers back to the film we did on the Severn Junction Railway. Severn Tunnel Junction Railway. Yeah, still not firing on all foil. Oh well. So Trev's comments. So if somebody reads Trev's stuff, then that's good. Well done. About the Cornish engine at Swansea Museum. They thought I'd better look into this. They have one of the beams from an engine outside the museum It's 30 feet long and weighs 20 tons. That's just the beam. Blimey. Not a cast iron one either. That's said to be unique riveted wrought iron one. Not sure if that's accurate. Pardon, Dave. Jem. Hi, Jem says he loves the slaughters. I live in Bolton on the Water. On the turf. And this is my dog's favourite walk. I'm not well enough to go that far just now, so it was lovely seeing the video as a reminder. Yeah, you're getting there, Jem. Slow process, but you're getting there. Well done. Marilyn. What's Marilyn been up to? Lovely to hear everyone's comments, she says. I thought I'd try and be the first for once, having been up since 5:45. What on earth are you doing up at that time of the morning? But already 9 views before me, like Charles. But already 9 views before me, so you've got to get up at the crack of dawn to beat these guys. Yeah, like Charles, I often wondered why those villages were named like that, and I did spot a little cafe in a barn as you strode past. Marilyn and her cafes. I reckon she can spot a cafe at 20 paces without any shadow of a doubt. Well done, young Marilyn. Oh dear, she says, I'm venturing outside my comfort zone into Stockport. There's a terrifying roundabout with 6 exits. And I have to leave, yes, you've guessed it, on the 6th exit. Blimey. Don't think I'd fancy that one, to be honest. My daughter wants to be taken to Hobbycraft after last turning the corner with the flu. Thanks for your good wishes. Yeah, well done. We sent Marilyn's daughter good wishes, didn't we, to get well soon? Yeah. She wants to learn macram, which is a hobby involving string. I guess we will spend an hour or 2 looking at string. Good old Marilyn. I look forward to seeing Pauline and her twin sister next week in what will surely be a very moving blog. Michael from Poland. I was last in the slaughters in 2010. Wow. What a beautiful area, and as you mentioned, only a few minutes from Bolton, where it's nowhere near as crowded. Now Bolton, you go to Bolton, it's heaving with all tourist tax shops all up and down the drag, and people would come there just to shop, I think, sometimes. They certainly don't get the view because it's just heaving, too many people there. Oh, there you go. But we reckon the slaughters is just as pretty, but without the tourists. So there you go. The mill was lovely, and how well the water wheel looked, didn't it just? Yeah. You have to travel far and wide to find somewhere as beautiful as the Cotswolds. No one's going to argue with that, Michael. Beautiful. Somerset man walking. Young Darren. Wonderful to hear all the comments read out by yourself and twin Ron. Oh yes, my twin was here. We made a mess of it. And then to watch this beautiful Cotswold walk at Upper and Lower Slaughter. What an absolutely delightful area. Just brilliant, yeah. Well, you've got delightful areas down your way, Darren, don't you? You keep taking us on these lovely walks round in Somerset and round and about. Yeah, gorgeous. Abandoned Railways, Ron. I haven't heard from Ron for a little while. Another very enjoyable Matador Rising, yeah. Ron does like his Matador Rising, it's brilliant. And I'm playing catch up again. Just caught up with last week's video of a rather dire looking station. Yeah, that was the Severn Junction station, and it wasn't too good. But he says some of the traffic fairly rattles through there. Yeah, they have that yellow line and say don't stand any closer than this, and you think, well, that's probably got a little bit of leeway in it. Blimey, no, it hasn't. When they're standing there and a train does a through run without stopping, you can really feel the suction of the air pushing it. Yeah, best step away from there, I reckon. A nice walk around the slaughters, he says. I don't know Upper Slaughter that well, but I have done quite a bit of forestry work around Lower Slaughter. Yeah, Ron was a forestry man in his prime and did a lot of work in the Cotswolds. I've spent the last week or so, he says, cutting back an overgrown clematis and honeysuckle on the carport. Still only half cleared, as the green wheelie bin is only emptied once a fortnight these days. Yeah, the old green bin. Yes, right. Poor old Ron. They've got a very vigorous clematis, and if you let it get too much of a grip, you're never going to get rid of it. So Ron's in there fighting it. Well done. Engage on a shelf. Our Simon. I can almost remember being young, Ron. 45 years work up next year, and I have no idea where the time has gone. Coming up for retirement. Yeah. It seems since Simon first made us aware that he had this plan, it seems to have shot by. But I suppose for Simon it's probably dragging day by day. Yeah. Oh well, there you go. Pete Payne, that was lovely, thanks. And just what was needed on a gloomy Friday morning. These places are like nothing else in the world, and we're so lucky to have them. Yeah, aren't we just? Yeah, we all look to go away on our holidays anywhere but this country country's got so much to offer. Yeah, oh well, there you go. Malcolm, thank you for a very enjoyable walk, he says, which I remember doing many years ago. Oh, right. Owing to bus timetable constraints, I only managed to reach the lower of the two slaughters. Perhaps in the days of the railway, I would have had more time. Yeah, looking back. West Country Wanderings, our Paul. Paul is referring back to our film on the Gloucester Cathedral, going back a while. And he says, as a memorial to all those tradesmen, that's a comment that Dave made, Cornwall Dave. He said that's a wonderful comment. Yeah, that's true. About Gloucester Cathedral from Dave in Cornwall. Yeah, Dave. It's true, isn't it, really, that it should stand there as a testament to those guys, some of who gave their life to build that. Yeah, oh well. That lower circular walk, that lower. Oh dear, misfiring today. That circular walk around the slaughters is one I've been aware of for a while, but still yet to do in my Cotswold Walk series. Keep your eye out then, and you'll be seeing one of Paul's films pop up on the lower and upper slaughters. And he says, I must admit, I always like the upper slaughter the best, with the forward there by the tree. So timeless. Yeah, there's some lovely photographs to be had there. Jim, New Zealand. That was a lovely walk, Ron, and as you said, a lot less crowded than down the road. That mill wheel looked in great state of preservation, maybe still in working order. A lovely scene near the end, looked worthy of a modern day constable. Yeah, that's probably the piece Paul was on about then. And yeah, they do fire that water wheel up every now and again, in the high days and holidays. Right. Lenny. He enjoyed the changeover of the brothers. I hope to take in a tunnel this weekend, said Lenny. Lenny's always in a tunnel here and there. I think you've got some meerkat in you somewhere, Lenny. Deary me. Yeah, well, I hope you stay safe, mate. David from Spain. Wow, a twin brother. There's another one. Today's walk was lovely, especially the mill, which looks in working order, or not far off. Talking of which, I came across a wonderful poem entitled The Lesson of the Watermill by 17-year-old Sarah Darrelly, poet and author, from Portsmouth, 1843 to 1926. Now, if you go onto David's channel, and you get there by going into David Bellamy, David did some lovely filming down on the south coast whilst he was across here attending to his mother's house move. And if you go and have a look at David's latest creation, he did a lovely poem, or the poem that's on there, he did a lovely readout of it, with appropriate photography to go with it. Yeah, lovely film. Well done, David. The chorus line goes, he says, the mill cannot grind with water that is past. Yeah, isn't that lovely? The mill cannot grind with water that is past. That's a little bit of a deep one. I'm thinking of doing a recital, he says. And in fact he did on the film there, and it came out very well, I thought, David. Very well. I also did a cooking video showing how to make kedgerwheat. This weekend takes me on a guided tour of the nearby Bronze Age hill fort. Maybe I'll record some of this. So we've got lots coming from David then. I'm not sure about the cooking programme. I haven't gone that far yet. Well, right. Charles, New Jersey, USA. Such a beautiful area to have such morbid names. Upper and Lower Slaughter. Were they named by chance after somebody prominent, perhaps a thriving butcher shop, or was this a result from the War of the Roses? I'm just curious about some of these British village names. Well, none of those which you would think would be a sensible reason to call it the Slaughters. As I said before, all it is derived from an old English word meaning muddy. So the forts there were muddy in their day. So there you go. Now, archive. Normally about this time now, we'd moved to the film, which was Flanders Fields last week. But I don't think I'm up to reading it, to be honest. There were some gorgeous comments come through, some lovely comments, and I would advise you to go and read them, but I don't think I'm up to reading them out. I'm sure you'll understand, and I'm sure you'll forgive me. Anyway, let's move on into the archive then. So the archive film this week is a trip to Swindon Steam Museum, which we've been there before, and it's always worth a look. It's very well laid out, so we'll go and have a look around there. And then next week we're going to change our habit of a lifetime, and we're going to visit an airport, an airfield. Yeah, an airfield. RAF Kemble, home to Red Arrows at one point. So we're going to have a look around Kemble, see what we can see how close we can get to anything worth filming, and I'll see you down there then, and I'll get the passes organised. Okay, so see you there at Kemble next week. Don't be late. Entrance to the old Swindon Works. Tea break over. That was in the National Trust Helix. Sounds like we've got some building going on here somewhere. It's actually a chiller unit. And that's the objective for today. Steam Museum. Mr. Brunel. Look at the offices. All the latest equipment.
No concern of mine, Garvey. We're here to run a railway. What kind of service would we have if everyone had your attitude, Garvey? Answer me that.
Oh dear.
Yeah, you see.
Oops.
Everyone else can get in here on time, and so can you.
Of course, the stores. Brooms to buckets to rope. Anything you like. On to the foundry. Working hard.
I had to translate the mechanical drawings from the island force of metal.
passionate joints. Oh dear. A line shaft. A red hot rivet. Oh, boiler works. This is actually engine 4248, rescued from Barry for the museum. Originally built in Swindon, of course. A serious bit of lifting gear. Caerphilly Castle, built in 1923. That was before Mallard came on the scene. That's the leading bogie. The driving wheels. And the cab and the tender. Everything well polished up there. The tender wheels must have rattled over the rails at some time. And the rear view. The brake block and levers. Each component has the engine number on it. And that is a work of art. It's a sliding block which would have gone up and down there at a fair old rate. The pistons. Right, down to the oily bits. That's where the bogie attaches. Part of it's springy and the suspension, I suppose. And that is the brake mechanism. You might make out that's where it attaches to the wheels. That's the crank. That's looking the other way with the connecting rods. Just make out the huge weight springs. And up there, the axle and the vacuum brake unit. And farther back, brakes, pipes, everything. The complicated bits. And that is the scoop for the water pickup. I picked it up from a trough on the road. And that's actually fitted to the tender. There's the wheels on the flange. Yeah, very good. There's Mr. Brunel to meet us. Morning. You see, he's not very talkative. There's a picture of building around wooden scaffolding. No wonder it took so long. Broad gauge locomotive, North Star. Built in 1837. Damn birds everywhere. That's an early signal. Not quite sure how you work that out. That's an old one. Chain operate. Something of a masterpiece, this thing. Whereas that looks straightforward. Wire inside, I guess. Yeah, there's the crank. A point signal, I think. With a counterweight. And this is a broad gauge disc and crossbar signal. Well, that's what it says on there. And that's broad gauge as well, called a fantail. Doesn't get a lot simpler. That's more like it. Right. Small goods loco, built in Swindon in 1897, worked most of his life in South Wales, withdrawn 1950. Comes complete with driver, and that's his domain. There's the joint between the tender and the locomotive. Water level. Regulator. Last there is the brake. Oh, he's not getting on very well. He was doing that last time I was here. Various lamps. Yeah, of course we have.
Like some of the controls you will find in front of you. The long red lever in the middle of the border is the regulator. While we are in the station, it should be pointing to the shut position, that is pointing down.
I told you this is easy. We should stop doing that.
We are now in open country. Just the reverse.
Nothing to it. Oh mate, you got work to do.
That a raw train is approaching.
With this, they allow you to actually move signals on a display. Allows you to see whether you could successfully work a signal box.
Up refuge points towards you.
At least if you get it wrong, nobody gets killed. Although you might get sent to the tower.
I am the signalman. If you want to help me operate the signals, pull the yellow lever to the centre and then push it back again.
Okay, that looks good. Alright, have a look out there. Nice tank engine. He looks a bit worried.
Vast bulk of deliveries within the UK. Rail freight could never match the door-to-door speed and economy of the lorry. In 1963, the Beeching found a massive overcapacity in the rail freight industry and saw the closure of both.
The guard's fun. Compete with brake.
And at times they give a purple for cover. Only cabin, open tank,
Bit too dark in there. Right, good section. Not sure about the woolies. Bit more livestock. Don't stand there talking all day, guys. Look, you've got all this to move yet. Still at it. One link fails and disaster. No brakes on it. Old Scammell. Got a quick release fifth wheel coupling there. Operated by the lever at the top. Some of their alphabet's slightly suspect. That's looking out over the main line towards Swindon town. Some of the old works there. St Mary's Church. That's the sawmill. To the left of that used to be a fitting shop. And the water tower was built in 1872. I think it's now a scheduled monument. Managed to miss that. Not to worry. And over the old fitting shop you can see the town centre. This gives us a chance to look at our next destination, which is the station layout. A few engines in there, including I think down the end a rail car. That's the old goods area where we've just come from. There's Caerphilly Castle through the glass. Gives you a chance to see some brickwork, the old building. Big stone lintel there. It's only bricks, but it's quite fascinating. A lot of history. The station. Fine old railings here in the foreground. I won't include us today. Lodestar. Booking office. We'll have a look in there. How did it work? Yeah, I'll have that one, the 1015. Insure your luggage. Oh, take care of it really, didn't they? And that's from the ticket office to the waiting rooms. I think. No, it's refreshments. It didn't look quite that good in my day. Yeah, that's more like it. I bet they're still for sale. Passengers off to sunny climes, we hope. I hope these are mannequins. Right, let's have a look at this. Wow, I guess slightly cleaner than it might have been in its day. That'll be the brake. Regulator. I think I run out about there. Various valves, brake pressures, boiler pressure, tight tube for the boiler level. And because it's GWR, driven from the right hand side. That'll be the tender water level.
Where they are up there, just to
And that's to lower the scoop. Well, he has been waiting a long time. He was here last year. That's still the lodestar.
Vedi, apri la cena. Non è che ci hanno dato le palle qui.
Somebody's left their bike. Last quick look at the station. It's a good setup. Next engine. It's easy walking through here, seeing the exhibits, to miss the actual building. Machine Shop R. Lots of fan lights, I suppose you call it. Natural light, saves money. Great iron pillars everywhere. And built to last. Both the factories still here proves that. Right, next, Ditcheat Manor. Controls again, a bit more of a working model this one I think, rather than a showpiece. Driver's eye view, used to adjust the piston length, giving more speed or less speed or a little bit more oomph. That is a very complicated valve here. Sound advice. And the tender. Slope to bring the cold here. There you go. Right, we'll have a look at that. Passenger accommodation. Beautiful woodwork. I think that's meant to represent the Queen, Queen Vic. Looks like she'd have one too many. Even the floor's good in here. Fan lighting again. This is indeed the Royal Coach. $18.97. Wow. She had some nice prints to look at. Buffet car. Some detail of the connection between the carriages. More complicated than you think. A bit of suspension, I think. And a locking hasp. Right. Have a look. Wowee. British Rail tea providers. To tempt you with the sandwiches. That's why you can see all the ends curling up through there, 'cause it's all got glass. Splendid. Seats, drinks, food, everything. I think the fellow in the next carriage looks a bit envious. He's in the rail car. Revolutionary in its day. Back to our car, our friend here. But she doesn't approve of the smoking. You can just tell, can't you? It's quite luxurious. Nice buffet arrangements. Number 4. Yeah, I wish. A few film displays. Good old days. So they tell us. Well, I'm not sure that looks any more attractive. No, not her, the traffic jam. Right, this is the exit hall. Shows some of the finer points of the building. Still the machine shop, I think. That concludes the railway museum visit. See if we can poke our nose through a few of the buildings. That's the traverser there, used for carrying engines through the repair shops. And have a look in the shopping centre so we can pick up some of the old building places. This is all part of what used to be the Swindon Works. There's a shopping mall through there. Works whistles. Nice touch. Original roof. Some nice detail. It's certainly attractive, but not much information on what they used to be. Yes, there is. Blacksmith shop. Has changed slightly. Can't see much of the building. They ought to move some of this stuff out. A clue. An old machine on display, it's a nice touch. There's some detail here if you look. In the 1870s this was the white shop and the brass store. Another old machine there. Don't ask. the details of the old shop. Not that shop. A big crossbeam been taken out there. Don't know what that would have been, some sort of structural member. Well, they've been left in place, obviously part of the structure again. Loud crane. That just about describes the building. Some wonderful brickwork in here. Lots of steel supports here, it's obviously heavy lifting stuff. Built on a grand scale. Well, it's not a full engine lift, but it's a lift just the same. So, run off the pillars. That's more like it. We're now in apparently what's called the tank shop. Really heavyweight lifting gear. And one of the old original wooden beam ones. Right, with that shot of the old drawing office, that's it.